Very good morning to all of you. I am Sonam Dubey, Assistant Professor in SIRT Bhopal. Now, today I am discussing about the types of computer networking. Now, the first of all, we just understood what is network. A network may be a consist of two or more computers that are linked in order to share resources, and these resources, just like a printer, scanner, CD, that is compact disk, hard disk, and pen drive. Now, these resources basically allow for electronic communication, and the computers on the networks may be linked through cables, telephone lines, radio waves, satellites, and red infrared light beams. Now, different types of network. The first one is personal area networks, that is PAN, local area network, campus area network, metropolitan area network, that is MAN, and the wide area network, WAN, storage area network, virtual private network, client server network, and the last one is peer to peer network. It is also said to be P2P network. Now, the first one is personal area network. In personal area network, we can just see there are different devices that are connected to the internet. In a personal area network, it is a computer network which is basically used for data transmission amongst different types of devices like computers, telephones, tablet, and personal digital assistant. It is also known as HAN, that is home area network, because we can also use this type of network at our home. Now, the second one is local area network. In local area networks, suppose there are two devices connected to each other through the router. So, we can easily share different types of resources through this type of network. A LAN can be either wired or wireless. Twisted pair, coaxial, or fiber optical cable can be used in a wired LAN. Nodes in a LAN are linked together with a certain topology like bus, ring, and star, and the LAN are capable of very high transmission rate up to 100 megapixel to the Gbps. Now, the third one is campus area network. The campus area network, which is larger than LAN but smaller than MAN, that is metropolitan area network. In this type of network, basically seen in college, university, hospitals, and different areas. These can be spread across several buildings also. Now, the next one is metropolitan area network. The metropolitan area network, which is larger than a LAN but smaller than or equal in size to a WAN. The size range everywhere from 5 to 50 km in diameter. So we can say a MAN is optimized for a large geographical area than a LAN, the ranging from several blocks of buildings to the entire city. A MAN can be owned and operated by a single organization, but it usually will be used by many individuals and organizations. Now, it often acts as a high-speed network to allow sharing of regional resources, and it covers an area of between 5 to 50 diameter. For example, a telephone company network that provides a high-speed DSL, that is digital series line, to a customer, and a cable TV network. This is also an example of metropolitan area network. And this can be managed by own and single entity. And the next one is wide area network, that is WAN. The WAN basically covers a large geographical area such as countries and continent and even whole of the world. A WAN is two or more LANs connected together. The LAN can be many miles apart. To cover great distances, a WAN may transmit data over leased high-speed telephone line or wireless link such as satellite. When multiple LANs can be connected together using devices like a bridge, router, gateway, and which enable them to share data. So we can easily set up a wide area network. The world most popular WAN is the internet. Now the next one is storage area network. The storage area network is nothing but basically it is referred to as a sub network or special purpose network because its special purpose is to allow users on a large network to connect various data storage devices with clusters of data server. So this is the example of SAN, in which we can see there is different types of devices like Unix, NT, NetWare, HTTP, which are connected to the different types of network also, where we can see the optical storage, tape, application server, data server and mail server are attached. So this is the best example of storage area network. Now the next one is virtual private network, that it is also said to be a VPN. In a virtual private network, we can just connect it through the internet to the web server with the help of firewall. Here we can see there is a two most important thing, that is virtual private networks client and the virtual private network server, and these two are connected through the VPN connection through a single tunnel. Now the VPN is a private network that can access a public networks remotely. VPN uses the encryption and security protocols. There are different types of encryption protocols which are used to secure our data. So these may retain our privacy while it accesses outside resources. When employed on a network, the virtual private network enables an user to create a virtual tunnel to a remote location. Typically, a telecommunicator use virtual private network to log into their company's work from home. So the example of virtual private network is the work from home. There are several employees who are working from home that are basically uses the virtual private network. Now, so there are three important things in virtual private network. The first one is authentication, confidentiality and integrity. Authentication is nothing but to validate the identity of two computers or two nodes. They can share their resources in a very reasonable manner. And the next one is confidentiality. It basically provides the encryption of our data to keep it private from the different things. Now the integrity is basically used to ensure that the data sent between two devices or sites has not been tampered with anyone. So we can say this is the very important network which basically provide proper authentication and confidentiality. Now the next one is client server network. In a client server network, in this diagram generally we can see there are four clients which are connected to the data server through the internet, where the one client send their data to the server and this server send the data to the other client. In a client server arrangement, the network devices and services are located on a dedicated computer called a server. This is basically said to be a client server model also. The server responds to the request of clients, whatever the client can request to the server. The server is a central computer which basically stores the individual information of all the clients. So this is basically responsible for authentication and confidentiality because it never share their data to the other system or devices. So this is more secure. The server is a central computer that is continuously available to respond to requests from a client for file, printing, application and other services. So this type of network basically generally used in all other places. Typically, a desktop computers function as a client and the one or more computers with additional processing power, memory and specialized software function as a server. So there are number of clients and only one server. Now the next one is peer-to-peer network. Now peer-to-peer network, in this diagram we can generally see there are three clients, client A, client B and client C. It is a very small network and each and every station has equivalent capabilities and responsibility. Suppose for example, a client A want to send any data to the other clients, so it can directly send its data to the next client and then the next client send this data to the neighboring clients. So the information can easily share and travel through these telephone lines or other coaxial pair and twisted pair cable to the other devices. Now each station has equivalent capabilities, does not require a switch or hub. This type of network does not use any type of switch and hub or any other devices, because in this the devices are directly connected to each other without any other references. So there is no any server required. These type of networks do not perform well under heavy data load. So such type of networks is only suitable for a small networks. So we can just use this type of network at only the home purpose. Okay, now thank you.